Hi, in this video we're going to look at the header elements. So okay, let's bring WordPress to the screen, and this is my landing page, and straight away you can see it's using the WKS default theme. And this is the theme which is used for the blogs, obviously no good for us creating a sales page or a landing page. So let's go and change that. Let's go and move this now over to a different type of template. So I've gone into the admin area, I go to my pages, and here's my demo page. Just click on edit, and then over here we're looking for page attributes. Now in page attributes we've got 3 or 4 actually that we can pick. The default heading, the default template which we've just seen. We've got a fixed, we've got WKS with no header, and we've got one with a header. Well, I'm going to pick the one with the header and then just do an update. Now let's go back and have a look to see what's happened to the actual page. So if I do a refresh, now it's gone to the actual WKS page for sales page and landing pages and so on. So this is good. Now we can start adding a header. So we go back to our admin area, and I need to type in the code to bring a header in. So I just type in header image. Then I need to find what that image is. Now I've got an image up in the library, so I go up to my library, and in my media library, and there's the header image. So I hit show, and down here you can see I've got this link URL. So I just simply click that and highlight it. That's Control A on the PC keyboard. I right click it and copy. And now the next thing I do need to do is just make a mental note of the dimensions, because we have to tell WKS the dimensions of the header. Okay, so the dimensions for this particular header are 700 by 215. So let's get rid of that. Let's come back to our admin area. Where I've typed in header image, I just simply click and paste. Okay, now I need to give the dimensions. So the width was equal to 700, and the height was equal to 215. Now you do need to put the width and the height in quotation marks. You don't need to put px for pixels or anything like that, but just the dimensions, just as I've put it there. Now I do the add custom field, and let's go back to our page and do a refresh, and now we can see that that particular header has come in. Okay, and obviously the sheet is the wrong dimension here, so we'll just go and quickly fix that. So I'm just going to type in here sheet width. We know the sheet width is going to be the same as the header, and that's 700, so I just do that and add it in. Let's go back and have a look at the changes. So there we are. So that's great. So we're not actually worried about this area down here. We're not worried about the sheet in this video. We just concentrated it in this header area. So there we are. There's a nice header, but what we want to do now is start adding some text. Now we need to give this page a particular title. Yes, I've got a title down here, but actually what I want to do is put the title up in here. Now the title I put in here is going to use H1, and a subtitle I'm going to put in as well. It uses H2 tags. Now if you don't know anything about search engine optimization, also known as SEO, don't worry about it. H1 and H2 tags basically are used by search engines to identify pages and to identify how important that page is, or as far as we're concerned, how important that page is. So an H1 means high priority, and H2 means, if you like, a subtitle or a subheading. So let's go in and start adding some of those headings in there. So we go back again to our admin area. I come to the new field, add a custom field, and I type in header title, and I'll just put a title in of this is my demo page. Having a problem spelling today. There we go, page. So just add that in, go back, do a refresh, and you can see now that there's the title there. Now that's an H1 tag. Now what we want to do is change the color of that, because that's a little bit bright. This red, or bright red on blue, is a little bit too bright, and I want to dim that down. In fact, let's do something else. Let's make that white. So okay, so I go back here, and I need to type in the custom fields the font color. Now to do that I use another code, which is header title font color. Okay, so that's header title font color. It's in the documentation. But now I'm just going to give it a hex number. Obviously you can use HTML words if you like, so red, green, blue, so on, but I like to use hex codes. So the hex code for white is actually a load of Fs, so 6 Fs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now just do and add that. Let's go back and do a refresh, and you can see that's gone white, and it's far more appealing. Next thing we can do is add in a subtitle, so another title to come under here. So I just type in header subtitle, and we'll just type in there hello world. We'll just add that in, and we come back, do a refresh, and we see that hello world is in there. So we've got white there and we've got black there. I can change the colour there by again coming down here and this time I use header subtitle font colour, and we'll make that white as well, so a load of F's. In fact, that's slightly wrong, that code. I need to use header subtitle colour. I don't need to add the font in there. So let's now just add that, and we come back and do a refresh, and I've got something wrong there, haven't I? So let's go back. I can see what I've done. It was actually font in there, so it should be header subtitle font color. So do that. Let's do an update, and let's go back, and hopefully we've got the change. And there we are. So that's gone white as well. Okay, now other things we can do as well. We can change the font face for both of these. So let's go back to the admin area. Now for the title font, we just use header title font. Very straightforward. So I'm just going to paste that in there. So header title font. And now I need to pick a font face to use. So I'm just going over to the other page here where I've got some fonts listed out. Okay, so I'm going to use Comic Sans, so let's just paste that in. So it's Comic Sans and this other one there. Just add that in, and we come back and do a refresh. And you see now that the top, or the header title, the H1 tag, has gone to Comic Sans. We can do exactly the same for the subtitle, or the subtitle in the header. So all I need to do now is just come back to the custom fields and paste in header subtitle font, and I'm going to use exactly the same as above, so we'll just use that Comic Sans, paste that in, do an update, come back here and do a refresh, and we'll see that that's also changed. So that's good. Okay, so we've done the header, we've added in the header tags, or the titles and the subtitle. So the very last thing we're going to do now in this video is actually move the whole of the header and the whole of the page actually down a little bit, so we can actually form a gap between the top of this header and the part of the browser. So very simple code to use, an easy one to remember. Just come down here and type in top margin, and now I just have to tell it how many pixels I want from the top of the browser. So I'll say 20 to start off with, and we'll see what that looks like. So just add that in, come back and do a refresh, and you can see now that all jumps down. That's actually 20 pixels. Let's say we want a little bit more than that, so let's go back, and I'm going to say let's make it 50. So we'll just update that, come back, do a refresh, and you can see now that the gap has increased. So there we are. In this particular video we've looked at how we can add the header, and we've had the title and subtitles. We've also looked at how we can change the font face for both the title and the subtitle. Also the colours for the title and the subtitle. We've moved the banner down, but also we've looked at how we can change the typeface as well. Okay, thanks very much for watching.